Hey, welcome back to Yes Girl. Today we're talking about the confidence code. Not the fake it till you make it type, not the standing tall type, but the quiet confidence that showcases who you are, that shows that you know who you are. On today's episode, we have Taku.
Hi. How are you?
We're fine.
Welcome to Yes Girl.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, girl.
We're talking about self-worth, bravery, and decisions that builds your power. Let's get right into it. So, what exactly is confidence?
So to me, confidence, it has the letter I, right?
Yeah.
So the I in confidence to me means it's about myself. It's about yourself, right?
I, like
Yes.
I. Okay.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
how much do you believe in yourself? How much do you believe in your own abilities? And at the end of the day, how good do you feel about
You feel about yourself.
yourself? So to me, it's really about yourself. Yeah, it's not external. It's about how you value yourself and show up in the world daily.
Yeah, but for a lot of young girls, how other people make them, or how other people react to them affects your confidence a lot. Like, if you step into a room, how people address you or how people respond to your presence in the room affects how you would feel. So when people always say, oh, it's about who you are in the inside, the external factor is also very important. So if you're not in a very positive environment, it's difficult to feel positive about yourself.
Yeah, that's true. But I always say you cannot control what other people think about you.
Yes.
So no matter what, you'd have to feel good about yourself because you will encounter as young people, even as adults, you will meet people who will sometimes make you question things about yourself.
Yeah.
But I always say to myself, I did not spend 9 months in my mother's womb to grow up as a person who doesn't believe in themselves.
herself.
And
Yeah.
that's what I encourage other adolescent
Lessons,
girls
yeah.
to do.
Very important. I also believe I've been confident from the womb.
I love that, confident from the womb.
Yeah.
And so when I think about my life, I wasn't the straight A student. I was just an average student when I was in school. I had a superstar sister who was the straight A student.
Wow.
But there was actually an experience that made me start believing in my own capabilities. So I remember I loved math a lot, but I wasn't really good in math. And I remember there was one experience where, unfortunately, I had to stop going to school because of family circumstances, both my sister and I. And I remember during that time, we didn't know when we were going to go back to school. And I remember I said, my mother values education, I value education, and I believe in my potential. Yeah. What is my mindset? I don't know when I'm going to go back to school. But in this interim period, I want to make sure that I work on my math skills. That was the one subject. And so during that period, I didn't know when I'd go back to school. But I ended up taking my sister's old math books and using my textbooks to teach myself. And I practiced daily. And I knew that when I eventually went back to school, I was going to be successful in math. No matter what nobody told me, I would show up and I would do well for myself, not for other people, but for myself. And when I did eventually go back to school, I remember that it was around the exam period. And I remember I had one of the highest scores in my class.
Wow.
And everyone was like,
wonderful.
oh, but you weren't even in school. How did you
even read or...
Yeah.
And that experience for me was really showing me that it's about myself and what I pour into myself, what I do daily, and that I can be anything that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And of course, after that experience, I started to think, hey, I could be Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
I remember, so for my A levels, I ended up studying mathematics as one of my main subjects. And then in university, I ended up getting a degree in mathematics.
Wow.
And then after university, I ended up becoming a high school mathematics teacher.
That's
so
very
wonderful.
impressive.
For
All
me,
started from the confidence that you had in yourself.
Exactly. And I think what also helped, and then you mentioned this at the beginning, that sometimes you're going to meet people who maybe are not going to be in support.
Yeah.
But my sister was my support during the time I was at home. And as I said, she was a straight A student. She encouraged me. She was good in math. She spent time with me and taught me that the more I practice, the better that I become. So I think as you think about your journeys as adolescents and building your confidence, it's also about finding those people who can also
Yeah, and that
pour into you and help you achieve your full potential.
That's actually very, very, very wonderful. I mean, you got supportive sister and supportive family. I know of a girl, my friend, and she's struggling in school as well. And her sister is a straight A student, but her family, they're like, why are you dull? Do you understand? They're like comparing her weakness to the strength of her sister. Why are you not passing in school? Are we wasting school fees? Olodo is just to eat that, like those kind of talk. They don't build the confidence in the child. They actually reduce the confidence in the child.
Self-esteem.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, I went to school sometimes as well where you do experience it, and it's not just from parents, it can come from many people. But again, I think, as much as you can, you are the most important champion for yourself. I remember just yesterday, I had a very not nice day. But at the end of the day, I came home and I said, I am clapping for myself. I showed up, I stuck true to myself. And that's the best you can do.
Yeah.
And confidence is even when you experience setbacks, you wake up the next day and you still continue to believe in your potential. Exactly. No matter what anelybody tells you, you are that girl. Yes, girl.
So talking about believing in your potential, let's talk about imposter syndrome.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, a lot of young girls actually suffer from imposter syndrome. I suffered from imposter syndrome for a very, very, long time.
Yes.
Since I was like 9, I've always wanted to start something on the internet, like maybe a podcast or literally just talking, because I've always been very opinionated. I've always been very opinionated, and I've always wanted to talk on the internet, share my opinion, but I'm like, am I good enough? I'm young, like, do I even know enough?
Yeah.
And then I finally started when I was 16. I didn't get any supporters. It was just my mom and dad in the comment section, and then 2 likes.
I love it.
From my mom and dad.
Wow, that's so
and
nice.
like no support. So it didn't really discourage me, because I knew that, okay, I am here to stay.
Yeah.
But for a lot of young people, that would have discouraged them. So I just want to say that imposter syndrome, the feeling of, oh, I am not good enough, you're probably not actually at that moment good enough, because you're maybe comparing yourself to people who have 10 years of experience. So when you finally get over that imposter syndrome, it won't be all rosy. Exactly. It would never be all rosy.
Yes,
you would have to keep choosing yourself, choosing that thing every day until it becomes all rosy. And then now on TikTok, my platform on TikTok, I get so much negative comments, and people are like, how do you deal with negative comments? I'm like, there was once a time I prayed for comments. So if they're negative, I don't care. Just like
yes, and I can actually very much relate to imposter syndrome, because I have always been someone who is, let's say, good. I don't know, I don't want to sound very, but like my parents have always told me there are lots of things you can do. You're very good at this thing. Anything you push your mind to do, you can do it. This kind of thing. Whatever you set your mind to do, we know that you can do it. Don't look down on yourself. You are better. So I had supportive parents, yes, but there was still this imposter syndrome of, what if you are too much? If you do this, if you do this or not, they'll say, if you do this, it's not. My circle was very supportive. But within myself, I always felt, you're doing too much. If you do this one, you're doing too much. And so I have had friends who have pushed me into potentials that I knew I had, but I was sure. Exactly, I was too scared to actually explore this potential. So your friend circle is actually very, very important, because they do a lot. Because now the problem wasn't the people around me. Problem was myself. I kept believing, I can't do this thing. But friends are very, very, very important.
Can I tell you something? Yeah. My friends and colleagues pushed me into this podcast. So I know what you mean. So I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So there was a point I decided, I don't want everybody in my space.
In my circle. I want just few people in my circle.
I want few specific important people that can add value to my life, and I can add value to theirs as well.
You know, when you spoke about the feeling of you're doing too much, I don't relate at all. Like, I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And it kind of comes from the feeling of, comparing yourself to other people. I'm always like, what have I achieved this year? what did I do yesterday? What did I do last week? Oh, I'm wasting my life. I won't be 19 again. Like, I'm always
Yeah.
feeling like I'm not doing enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and that comparison actually, I did suffer from comparison when I was like my younger adolescent years, because I was like, oh my god, my friend has this, my friend has this, my friend has this. Oh, my friend is doing this. I can't believe that she actually bought this. Oh, this kind of thing. And then I was comparing myself a lot, and then not noticing the potential I actually had within myself, that, oh, your friend has this and you don't, but you have something that the friend doesn't have. That kind of thing. So comparison, like I always say, is a killer of joy. And then
like
it blinds you from seeing the real value that is within yourself.
I think that statement in itself is still comparison. I mean, now you're comparing what you have to what she doesn't have. I mean, you can look at it that I have this and that's just all about it. Full stop. She has that. Full stop.
Full stop.
When you start comparison, though,
Yeah.
it's a never-ending road. There's always going to be one of you, one of you, and one of me.
Yeah.
So I think you just have to focus. As you said, I loved how you said that it took away from you recognizing your own potential.
Yes.
And I was young many, many years ago. And one of my regrets from my adolescence was that I worried too much and wanted to be like others. But you need to pour into yourself. And really, that's really critical. So, yeah.
Something I've been doing lately is telling myself, yes, you may not be doing a lot of things, but at least you're doing something.
Yeah.
And
Everybody-
doing good.
Yes,
in the things that
they're
you're doing.
Everybody has their thing. My mom always tells me that there is no competition in destiny. Everybody has what they are meant to do per time. And the fact that they are doing this at this particular time and you're not doesn't mean anything. Focus on yourself. Focus on your own journey. Focus on yourself as a person and be like, oh, I'm doing this. Try and work on growing yourself and not comparing yourself to another person. So if I say that, oh my God, this person just did this wonderful thing, my friend is now a multi-millionaire, I'm like, that's her journey. That's her
Clap
time
for
to do
her.
that. I will
Alhamdulillah,
celebrate with you. But then come back and focus on my own journey. Don't feel pressured. I don't pressure myself now anymore to do anything. I'm like, yes, I'm moving slowly. Maybe this is this person's time to be showcased to the world. And then, but I am still in my growing stage. So focusing more on yourself is very important in building your confidence.
I would also say for me, what I've learned, another lesson about confidence for me, it's also about self-care and also knowing that you will go through setbacks, but you still wake up and you are showing up for yourself. I remember when I was graduating from high school, I wanted to study abroad and I got a lot of rejections. And rejection hurts, but it's how you respond to rejection, right? Yeah. And I remember reflecting, what could I have done better? And I identified some things. And I remember I said, I'm going to try this again. And I took a gap year. And in my second year, I really poured my all into my applications. Those essays, I spent so much time. And at the end of it, I said, irregardless of the outcome, I know I did my best. Unfortunately, that second round, I was able to get, accepted, and then I was able to study abroad. But I think for me, I was confident and happy with what I'd done, that irregardless of whatever that outcome would have been, even if I had had a second time where I was rejected, I knew that I'd showed up and gave it my best.
And you'll be proud of yourself for
so
doing so.
Confidence, I also feel, allows you to be able to manage setbacks, because setbacks will happen, but you continue to believe in yourself.
That's very
And you don't let
important.
those experience take away from your potential or define you.
Yeah, that's very important.
One thing I would want to add to what you've just said is, taking from your story, most times setbacks are feedbacks. Most times they're actually
very
feedback.
important.
So rather than feeling bad about the situation, you can do something about it to change the outcome.
Yes.
Because they said if you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome, you won't get a different outcome.
Exactly, because the setbacks are pointing out the areas where you have done wrong. Oh, at this point, I was supposed to do this and I did it this way. So next time, if I'm going to go for it next time, this is what I'm going to do right and all. So yes, accepting that setbacks are feedbacks is very important.
Confidence isn't just in your voice, it is in your decision. Getting the HPV vaccine, that is major confidence. You may feel scared, you may not understand it, but saying yes to your future, that is major confidence.
We asked girls on the street how they felt about confidence, and this is what they shared.
I think confidence means not exactly what everybody thinks, walking into a room and expecting everybody will love you, but entering the room and knowing that you'll be fine if everybody doesn't. You're self assured.
To me, confidence means being unapologetically yourself.
Confidence is being able to follow your own moral compass.
The confidence means you are bold.
Confidence means you're not scared to do anything you put your heart out to do.
Do you think confidence is loud, quiet, or both?
It depends on your personality. So it's both. Your confidence could be loud. You could walk into a room and then like everybody will like notice you are there with the way you carry yourself. So that's quiet confidence. While other times when you speak and you voice out what you have in your mind, it can also show as confidence in a loud way.
Can be both because you can be confident and you are not the type that one day look at you, they will think, oh, this is a bold person. But the moment you speak, they know that, oh, yeah, you are very bold.
When I was in secondary school, I was choosing as class governor.
Wow, wow. That's so nice. That's really
First time I'll be taking a leadership something. So at least that was at least boost confidence a bit.
I actually did something that I was not expect. I did not expect myself to do, and I did it. And I was receiving comments like, "Wow, you nailed it!" And oh, my hands are up. Yes,
your head nearly blew.
yes, my hands are up. Like yes, I did it. So
Nothing to my shoulder.
nothing to my shoulder at all.
You don't have to have it all together to believe in yourself. Confidence is built, not born. It grows every time you make a brave choice. When you say no, when you say yes to yourself, or even when you say yes to the HPV vaccine. Not because it's trendy, because it is smart. Real confidence is choosing what is right for you, even when nobody else sees it. So go, girl, go be that girl that chooses herself every time. See you guys in the next episode.
Bye.